Thank you so much for joining us on Straight Outta Savannah. I am so super excited. My guest, Steph Mcdonald, is here. I have been wanting to speak to this young lady for a minute. And I'm so excited and grateful that she's here all the way from New Zealand, speaking to me. And I am just I'm enamored. So here she is, Steph Mcdonald, to share a little bit about who she is and what she does. So Steph, take it away.
Thank you, Tammy. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. So I'm from New Zealand. I'm a 29-year-old woman who is on a big journey to discover life and follow my passions in my heart. And I've been sharing that with the world and with my community and the people around me.
Yes.
I work as a women's coach, and I do something called ecotherapy, which is nature wellness. So it's connecting people back to the natural world and finding a connection with the land, and in turn being able to connect with ourselves and our emotions and who we are, which I think is really, really important.
Ooh, that is so nice.
Thank you. There's also another kind of area that I've been developing in a lot lately, which is art wellness and using art as a wellness modality, and learning about the process of self-expression through the dance between the inner and the outer, the conscious and the subconscious mind, and
nice.
Bringing through the unseen, the things that we need to trust through, the things that are really there despite everything else in the way, the mind, the chatter.
Yes.
Letting our true self be revealed through a process of trusting and demolishing imperfectionisms and putting aside expectations and just allowing the truth to come through as it is.
Yes, that is so powerful, because the thing is the work that you're doing is so needed, because so many women out there, and the fact that you discovered it so young is like amazing to me. To be honest with you, I'm just a tad bit jealous. I'd say if I could be, because that's not a reality for me. I don't even believe in jealousy, but I thought that was cute, because it's like, man, she's 29 and she's discovered this. Hell, I'm over 50 and it took me all these years to discover this, and she's got it right here. So I'm super excited to watch as you just grow and expand, and as you just change the planet, and that's why I brought you on this show, because I know that you're changing the planet. So let's go into talking about how you got here and what brought you to this point. We talked a little before we got on the show about how you were working in a job that it was time for you to do a shift, and so you felt that. And share a little bit about that journey.
Sure. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I've spent the last 10 or so years working in corporate, local government, companies and industries, and very focused in these roles on being supportive to other people. So a lot of my administrative work was in helping other people to be successful.
Oh, nice.
And it really tied in and made me review where and how I see myself as just a support person or a side person, and how I give my power away and how I'm people pleasing.
Yes.
So yeah, I moved from a few different jobs, and there was this one particular job that was just soul crushing. And it was what I originally studied, which was human resource management. And I thought, yes, I'm finally doing what I studied, and this is it. But I ended up getting glandular fever and getting really sick and run down. And, those moments, like I I had a car accident and wrote my car off. My floorboards in my house flooded and I had to get them ripped up. There were multiple things happening in life at the same time. Like, come on, Steph, listen to your intuition, listen to your soul. Things just kept happening.
I was thinking that as you were speaking that, I was thinking that I was hearing Beyonce's song, Break My Soul,
wow.
you know. I was like, wow, yeah, because you had all these things that were trying to break your soul. They were actually trying to help you to guide you, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, just listen, stop for a moment and see and feel. Absolutely.
I love that. So I feel like you and I are similar in that way. That's the way spirit does me. It's like, listen, I'm trying to tell you something. Yeah,
Totally.
so go on.
So I ended up, I left that job and I bought a one-way ticket to South America and I rented out my house and I gave myself about, it was like 6 weeks because I had to give a 4-week resignation period, which went pretty quickly. So I had that time to kind of save money and organize someone to move into the house, which led me to journeying through South America and just finding the rhythm of my soul again, the beat of my drum, the
Your
voice
peace.
within. Absolutely. My peace.
Yes.
And my pace.
Yes.
My pace as well.
So would you feel like, would you say that you were called to that place?
It's funny you say that because, yeah, definitely. It was about 3 weeks into my journey and I had this one particular week where emotions were coming up out of nowhere. I was purging like crazy and it was crazy because I'd visited like 12 other countries before going to Peru, and that was where I wanted to go in the very beginning.
Isn't that awesome how that works like that?
It's like complete avoidance by doing all these other things instead of just doing what I wanted to do in the first place.
That's awesome.
But this particular week of, you know, emotions coming up, and I always said to myself, if I'm not going to consciously go after plant medicine or go after an ayahuasca ceremony, I just said to myself, if the opportunity comes up, I'll consider it at the time, depending on how I feel, what feels right. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. Yes. The fact that you honor what feels right, because, you know, and I'm glad you brought that up, because so many people, we just fucking ignore, you know, what feels right. You know, I don't know, you know, why we do that, but we just do.
Yeah.
And it's almost like we have to learn that, you know, we can offer ourselves permission to do what feels right. So you bringing that up is perfect, because I know that there are people watching that, you know, feel that, you know, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to stay, you know, in this place and work for these people on these jobs that, you know, suck my soul and break my soul, you know? So why do I have to do that? You know, so just you saying that to me is like, it gives people validation and permission.
Absolutely.
So yes.
Yeah, every time I've taken a leap of faith, it has worked out perfectly. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Yes, because people want to know that, because, you know, a lot of times people take leaps and go in the pool, you know, and then they, you know, after that, they don't want to take another leap again. You know what I mean? It's like they took that one. It's like, that obviously wasn't the right thing, because, you know, I went in the deep end of the ocean, you know, that kind of thing. But the fact that you took this leap and it worked out, you know, that's like amazing. Yeah.
Even if we kind of, I think even if it seems as though it hasn't worked out, it always changes the trajectory of our life. So
Yes.
even if it seems to be horrid and we end up in the pool and we, you know, learn how to swim and are faced with 10 different difficult life lessons and we followed our heart, it actually is going to lead us to a more enriching place than having stayed where it was painful.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That piece. Because we all go through that. You know, even if we're not, you know, on a spiritual journey, you know, like we are obviously on these journeys. But even if we're not, even if we're just trying to live life and trying to, you know, maybe be more abundant or, you know, trying to maybe deal with, you know, whatever we're dealing with in our life, you know, illnesses and things like that. Still, you know, you got to take those leaps sometimes, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's this quote, it's better to live a life, you can heal from the flames, but you can't heal from a lifetime of living in the darkness, or something like that.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think about it's better to live on your feet than die on your knees or something like that. You know, and I like that too. It's like, yeah, that's true. You know, because you want to live out loud, right?
Totally.
And you don't want to be, you know, around here, because I see people, and I must just say this, I admire you guys' generation, because, you know, I see people in my generation, and, you know, the boomers are like next to me, they're my husband, but they, you know, a lot of times we didn't have the courage to take those leaps, you know, or we felt like we couldn't do it. We felt like we were stuck in this place. We felt like we were stuck in these jobs, you know, like we had to work them because, you know, our parents told us that that's what you did. You know, you grew up and you went to school and then you got a job. And even if you hated it, you still need to work it because, you know, you got to get your 20 years in or whatever, so you can retire, you know, and then you die, you know. So this is how, you know, so many of us live, you know, and it's like, to me, you guys take those liberties and you give yourself permission, you know, to take that leap and to take those steps. And it's just, I love it. It's amazing, you know, and I laugh because so many times I hear people talking and they're like, oh, well, you know, this generation, they just don't know how to, you know, stick with things, and they don't know how to, you know, they're just, you know, they're flimsy in their minds and blah, blah, blah. And they're just flighty and they just, you know, don't know how to, you know, be with something or whatever. And I'm like, no, they know how to love on themselves, you know, in a way where, you know, they're not doing some shit that they don't love for fucking 40 years like you people are. You know, and then you wonder why you are sick and you got all these fucking conditions and diseases and things happening because, you know, you're not honoring yourself. And so you guys honor yourself. And to me, that is, I mean, that's just awesome. I love it. I love it.
That's so cool. And like this generation wouldn't have been able to, you know, rise as visionaries and go after what we wanted and learn about alternative ways of healing without the work of the previous generation.
Right. Exactly.
If things had not have been questioned or looked at, or, you know, if it just because we're sticking to something, it doesn't mean those feelings are not there.
Right.
That active questioning it and shifting things and perspective, that in itself has allowed this generation to perhaps be a little bit different. It's the natural progression and evolution of what is and what has been. We're all one big team.
I think it's amazing. I really do. And I love to point that out to people because I hear it all the time, you know, from my generation. They're like, you know, they just, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, they are woke and they are not, you know, tolerating the bullshit that we did, you know, because we tolerated a lot of stuff, you know, and things that we maybe shouldn't have, you know, when I look back on it, you know, but, you know, we did. But you guys are like, no. I know I went to school for 8 years to be a doctor, but I really don't like that. I can't stand it. When I go, it gives me anxiety. I'm going to be a pastry chef, because that's what I always wanted to be. I seen that as a real life example, and we're like, but you went to school 8 years for that. I'm sorry you don't love it, but you went to school 8 years and you got student loans from hell, But you guys are like, no, I'm not doing that. And to me it's almost like honoring your soul, right?
Absolutely.
So talk about the journey that you took in South America, because that I'd love to hear about it. I'm sure other people do too. So talk about the journey that you took in South America, because I'm sure that helped change the trajectory of your life.
Absolutely. So I started off in Argentina, and I made my way to a little place called Salta, where I hung out and then did this little trip over to Chile. And it was like a 3-day border crossing through the salt flats and 4-wheel drives, just in the most remote places. No phones, just, self and the environment, and much time to think.
Nice.
Yeah. And then eventually making my way up to Peru. And I was reading this really beautiful book at the time, The Lost Art of Heart Navigation, which delved really deeply into some shamanistic principles.
Yes.
And it was so crazy. So this ayahuasca ceremony I'd never planned to do. And I had all these emotions arising, and I had these voices in my head saying, "This is why you are here. Welcome home."
Oh, wow.
And I knew,
nice.
I knew that I had to go and do this ceremony. But it was crazy, because the book that I was reading talked about asking your spirit guides for information and letting them come back to you instead of going out into the ethers to find it, basically.
Oh, wow. Yes, that's nice. I like
Yeah. And so I had a tour guide that I was with in Peru who organized the ceremony, and he ended up coming with me to keep me safe.
Oh, nice.
So I had, and the whole ceremony was purely just for me, which was so beautiful and so special. There were about 5 people playing instruments, and then the shaman. And it was so crazy, because at the end of the ceremony, my tour guide came to me and shared everything that I'd always wanted to know about life. And it was exactly the same as the book, asking your spirit guides to go for information. And here in the physical world, there was my actual guide coming with me to get information.
That is wow. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. So I was walking down one of the main streets in Cusco, and a man came up to me and tried to hand me the book, the Bhagavad Gita. I think that's how you say it. And it was in Spanish, so I had to kindly reject it. But later that night,
that was actually my question. I was like, so do you know Spanish? I was gonna ask that. Because I decided I was gonna try to learn before I go a little bit, at least a little bit.
I can teach you some swear words.
I took it in high school, but you know how that is.
Yeah. I can't remember anything I learned in high school language.
I can ask, how are you? I can say, ¿Cómo está?
Muy bien.
Right? That I can say, but any more than that, it's like, can you slow down a little bit? All right.
So yeah, this man tried to hand me this very well-known spiritual book. And later that night I was in my hostel and there was a book exchange. And I went up to the book shelf thing and I closed my eyes and I put out my finger and I opened my eyes and there was an English version of the 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄, the exact same book. Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, pretty synchronistic.
So that book was for you.
Yeah. And then yeah, I ended up coming home and I ended up taking another job for about 6 months and decided I can't do this. So I made huge sacrifices to do what I wanted to do. So I sold my house and I quit my job, my income. I studied a diploma in life coaching. So I really wanted to help people and I knew that I'm on this planet to help people.
Yes.
And I slogged away at, making coffees and working just to make sure I could do this training. And since then, everything has just unfolded. So that's basically, that kind of is the journey up until now, I would say.
That is powerful. I'm so excited for you because that's like a dream for most people. Most people are like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to quit my job and get a one-way ticket some damn where away from here. Oh my God, that is so powerful. I love it. So as you move through working as a life coach, what kind of clients typically do you work with?
It's mostly women, mostly people that are afraid to speak up and share their truth.
Okay.
People that want to rise in business that are afraid. People that have had these thoughts and feelings, but other people have told them that they're crazy. And it's like, no, you're not crazy. Let me be a voice of truth and show you that everything is within you and you know exactly what you're doing. So please trust that.
So those people that were where you used to be.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's awesome, right?
I never thought about that. Yeah.
We were just talking about this on the show that I was just on a couple hours ago. How basically our what do they call it? Avatar, our ideal client, is typically us. A few steps back.
Wow.
That's why sometimes we have a hard time putting it into place, because maybe at this point you've left that and you may have forgotten that, this is where you started at or this is where you were, and so now here you are and you can look back and, to me, it's like reaching back and helping other people. Come on, come this way. I'm here. You can do it. Right?
I love that. That is such an amazing thought. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Oh yeah, no worries. I think it's amazing because, it hit me just like it just hit you. The same way I was like, that's what it is, and that's why, that's why you can speak to them like that because they were you. That's where you were.
Yeah.
And that's why that you can help them, right?
Yeah, totally. And it's funny how people just feel it though, don't they? They just feel drawn.
Yes.
And they don't know why. And it's not until they don't know what it is that they need to do or overcome within themselves. They just know they have to come and see you.
Right.
And then it kind of unfolds later. Oh, okay. This
I
makes
think
sense now.
it's like an energetic draw to me. It's
Yeah.
like, because I know I've seen people that I was just, drawn to their energy. I didn't even know what they had for me. I just knew they had something for me. I actually reached out to a girl and I said, listen, you're supposed to tell me something. She's like a shamanic guide, some type of, she had a, like we all have our things that we say that we do or are whatever, these things. So she's a
Label.
thing. Right. Yeah. Label. And she's a thing, whatever it is. And so I said to her, I said, there's something you got to tell me. I was like, I don't know what it is. I don't even know what it's about. I said, but there's something that you're supposed to say to me. And it was wild because she said, okay, let me feel into it. And she did. And she was like, you're right. I'm supposed to tell you about blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. And there are many people just like that see, that are going to see you on this show. They're going to see you on your, whatever your social media of choice is. They're going to see you and they're going to be like, man, I don't know what it is about her, but I need her in my life. That I need her. It's almost like I noticed for me, I get a lot of attraction with men these days, and I'm like, I'm not looking for a man. I have one. I have an amazing man that I'm not willing to trade, but I start getting these men just start coming at me. And then, once I talk to them sometimes, which sometimes I do, sometimes I just block them. But I say, you know what? It's not that you're attracted to me in that way. You may be. I said, but that's not what's attracting you. So what's attracting you is my energy. And that's been for me all my life. So I understand, when you say that, the people just show up because they see you and they know that, you're speaking their language. And the reason why is because you've been there already. So and it's crazy because I know as we do this work and as we dive deeper, into it, and as we're being called to, shift and to, look at different perspectives and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes that is for us, but it's also for our clients.
Absolutely.
Because they're going to get the benefit of that. Yes.
Yeah.
So that is like, to me, that is the highest truth.
I just want to take a moment and let that permeate that beauty and goodness and
yes,
deliciousness.
Yes. So, what are you working on, and what is your plan for the future?
At the moment, I'm a series of art workshops where I'm teaching people the value of trust and demolishing imperfectionism. So They come along. Yeah, it's so much fun. We just
are you doing it in person?
Yes.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Even better.
I've got 2 coming up this weekend, and I've got about 40 people coming.
Oh,
so we're
nice.
Just throwing paint and having fun and just trying not to color in the lines, try and decondition, just be ourselves and allow the inner child to come out and be free and play and express how it authentically wants to express.
God, I sure wish I was there because I would sure go.
I can Skype you in.
That is awesome, man. I'm so excited about that because that is
me too.
So needful. People need that because nobody gives you permission to, feel and to be, and that's amazing, and it's necessary in this world because so many, people aren't feeling, they're numbing out, and and just you giving that permission, and also to do it in such a fun way. Like, oh my God, so amazing.
So much fun.
Yes, it's like, oh my God, she's not only doing it in a way that allows them to open up, but also to be free.
Absolutely. And in a way where they can make sense of their
Mhm.
experiences and discover themselves.
Yes. So almost
Yeah,
allowing them to be a freedompreneur.
totally.
Love it. I love it. It's awesome. That's powerful. Just that is like, wow, bring the people in and allow them to just feel into their spirits and their souls and just know, and then to create on top of that.
Yeah,
So powerful.
absolutely.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So if there was one thing that you could change about what would it be?
About the planet, did you say?
Yes.
Um, Taking care of our earth is a
Yes.
massive one. Blessing the water, giving thanks and appreciation to this land we live on that is our home.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that, the fence lines in between properties or in between countries are just an illusion. We're all one planet, and
Oh, I love it.
society is just a layer or a filter. The filters on your phone with photos.
Yes.
You can choose the layer you want to look at.
Yes,
So
I like that.
pick one of love. Yeah.
I love that. And that is what we need, I still hear that song, All We Need Is Love, the Beatles. And I was like, as you were saying that was a song that came through for me, because I'm, hella clairaudient. Sometimes it's
I love
annoying.
that.
So songs come to me, I'll hear people talking and songs will show up, and that was the one that came. It's like, all we need is love.
That's so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. All we need is love. Love.
Do, do, do.
Love is all you need, right?
Mm.
And that was like, so, because the thing is so many people don't even realize that, the love is inside of them.
Amen.
No, it's not outside, it's not over there, it's not over there. And even in relationships, once you begin to love you, and that love is going to radiate out and it's going to grab the
Yeah.
love, and that I can speak to that for sure, because I did that. It's like, I just went on a love journey, after I got divorced.
Beautiful.
I went on a love tammy journey. I was like, you know what? I got to
Oh,
do things that, make me love. And I wasn't even at this place, I was in that transition, and I was like, I got to make sure that I know how to love me, because I was so
beautiful.
abused for so long, and it was like, I got to know that. That's what I have to know, and that was the journey that I went on before, in between the marriages. Because like I said, I tell people, I said, I didn't rush into getting married again. I wasn't even trying to play those games. To be honest, when I met my husband, I wasn't looking. I was ready to just be with me. And I had already
Beautiful.
been on this love
It's always
journey
the
with
way.
myself, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm with me and this is what I'm going to do. And, I'm on this place. And then, he showed up, so I just really feel like if we can just have this love, for ourselves, for our environment, for our planet, for the world, because there's so much that we can change just with love.
It's so funny. I was having a very similar conversation with a client yesterday, and it was the same thing. Like, you might love food, you might love the people you're around, you might love the ocean, but you are where love comes from. The love doesn't exist in those things.
Right.
You are what puts the love onto it.
Yes.
The love comes from you.
Yes. Woo, that's all I can say. Woo! This has been such an amazing journey for us today. It's been awesome. And just having this conversation has, just inspired me. And I hope that it inspires all of you, because this is why we're here. To help move the needle on this planet back to love, because we have to. I mean, we have to do that. Otherwise, we're going to implode.
Let's not do that.
Right? No, I don't think that's a good thing. We want to just not go there.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Anyway, all right. So, Steph, share with the people where it is that they can find you or connect with you. And also, these things will also be in the description of the video. So you can always, it'll be clickable links and stuff. So you can click to find her. But just share with them where is the best place to find you.
Oh, thank you, Tammy. On Facebook under Steph Mac.
Yes, that's amazing. That's where I found her. But yeah, so definitely connect with her if what she is saying, speaks to your heart, because that's what we are here to provide, is heart medicine. And so what she's saying speaks to your heart. Reach out to her. Reach out to her, even if you just want to connect because you need to be in her world. And I know she has an amazing group. You have a group, right?
Yes. Earth Priestess Temple. Yeah.
Say it again.
Earth Priestess Temple.
I need to find that because I don't think I'm in. I met you in somebody else's group. Which, that happens too, because, yeah. Because I think, I connected with a few people in different groups, and I'm like, where do we meet? They're like, my group. I'm like, I don't think I'm in your group. Because we're all in way too many groups a lot of times. It's like,
yeah.
Actually,
so many groups.
Yeah, I was actually kind of getting out of some because I was like, I don't want to. And this is what I told one girl. I said, I don't want to bring the algorithm down because I'm not participating in your group. I said, and I try to, that's always my goal, is to participate in one way or another, And so I was like, I'm not participating in whatever the content was. It was something like, it was a weight loss group or something. I was like, really? I mean, I'm not really focusing on that right now, and I don't have time to deal with it. And to be honest, I really only have about 10 more pounds I want to take off anyway. I was blessed to be able to get sick and take 25 off. So I'm like, I only have about 10 more pounds I want to take off, and I'm really not trying to think about that at this moment. So I need to not do this.
It'll probably just like fall off because you're not focused on it.
And it's exactly what I said. And that, honestly, that's what's been happening. It's just been falling off. And I'm like, okay, because I'm like, I'm not focusing on it. But, like we discussed earlier, I don't believe in diets. I believe that you should eat what you want and what feels good to your body and all that stuff. But you shouldn't eat a lot of it. I feel like you eat a little bit of everything, you're good, but don't be denying yourself and all that, because that never works. Because when you start denying yourself, what you do, you binge. You're like, fuck it, I need to have that sugar, But anyway, this has been fabulous. I hope you guys have enjoyed us. We have enjoyed it, and we've enjoyed laughing with you. So, but we're going to call it today, and I thank you for joining me. And if you are doing something where you are changing the planet and you want to come on and share about it, come on, hit me up, send me a message wherever you are watching this or listening to this, as it were, because this will be on the Anchor and Spotify, Amazon Music. It's on iHeartRadio. Anywhere that you listen to podcasts, this thing is on there. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. Steph Mcdonald, oh my God, she is a force to be reckoned with. If you are looking at trying to find your soul, reach out to this beautiful young lady, because she can help you. So again, thank you for joining us. And Steph, thank you for joining me. It's been a blast. I have enjoyed the time with you, and I've enjoyed the show. So those of you that enjoy the show, make sure that you like, you share, you subscribe, you invite people, to watch us and all the rest of the shows. And make sure that you are smashing the subscribe button if you're watching it on YouTube. So again, thank you for joining us. It's been a blast. Bye now.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.